Okay, this is the Threepenny Switch. This controls my electric bike. It's made with 3 pennies on the top and 1 penny on the bottom, soldered together. And when you're ready to head down the road, you just put these together with your thumb. Pow, and off you go. I have the emergency switch off right now so that the thing doesn't take off without me on it. Sometimes it will actually fuse itself together or weld itself together, and you have to be ready with your index finger to break the seal. So if you decide to go with a penny switch rather than one of those $100 controllers, be sure to have a safety switch so you can reach down below and turn it off before you run into a tree. So this is the safety switch. This turns it on and this turns it off. Forward to go. And here's the motor. This is a Cole Morgan. I don't know if you saw my other video about the electric tandem bike. This is a pair I bought about 15 years ago from an eBay seller. It cost me about $130. It's rated at 200 watts at 24 volts, and that's continuous. So I'm able to run as much as 30 or 36 volts into it without warming it at all. And of course I don't like to go that fast anyway, so I had it laced into the spokes of this front wheel by my local bike shop. They charged me $20 for the project, and it works just fine. It will peel rubber, I warn you, and you can scratch off with this thing. It's quite powerful from a dead start because it's a series wound DC motor, and of course it'll draw high current till it gets up to speed. When it reaches top speed, it'll draw no more than 3 to 6 amps on a flat surface. So that's the whole bike. It's kind of a large bike for me, but it was on sale. Now I power it with the Kobalt system, and this is the Kobalt lithium charger from Lowe's. It's a 24 volt model that I use with my drill, and the batteries are very light and economical. I did try the 40 volt system on it. This is a 2 ampere hour battery that Lowe's also sells for their weed eaters and their chainsaws. It's a little bit bigger, and it really propels the bike a little bit too fast for me. So I've switched over from the 40 volt system to the 24 volt system. And the hard part is you have to build a mounting frame for it unless you have the equipment left over from an old broken tool that you could use, because the battery fits right on here, and you've got to mount it every time you go. I made this little frame out of PVC plastic and bolted it down, used some Gorilla Glue to hold it in place. There's 2 contacts here labeled plus and minus. These are flattened 12 gauge house wires. They have to be flattened in order to fit into the battery casing. And I'll show you the battery in just a minute. This is the PVC that I use. These are some old fence post corners that a friend gave me, and you can saw them up with a hacksaw, and they make very fine material for this sort of project. So when you get ready to do your project, be sure to be able to mount something on there. Let's get a battery. Here's the tandem bike. It still has the 2 ampere hour battery in place, and this is a bargain, I believe. If you can find a better deal on a lithium powered battery for a bike, let me know by email. This is 2 ampere hours, 24 volts, and amazingly this is $20 at Lowe's. I really should call them up and see if they're willing to use an ad on my channel, because I love Lowe's Kobalt batteries. And so this one, I'm putting it in backwards. That wouldn't be good, would it? Goes in this way. Plus on that side. I don't think it would probably fit the other way, but it sits right there, and we'll close the compartment. And then, Oh, I got the mirror. You can see the old man in the mirror. Okay. Let's hop on the bike and take it for a little spin just to hear the motor purr. It makes a nice little sound. We'll coast out of the driveway and head up the hill. Flip on the switch here. And then let's give it a little juice here. Okay. Can you see the spark? Probably not, but I'm sure you can see the motor turn. And I don't know if you can get a shot of the meter there. I have an ammeter on the thing. It pegs out at 15 amps. And it's on 0 now, but let's give it some juice. There you go, 15 amps. Now the current will drop off as we come up to speed. And you see that's down around 9 to 10 amps now on the flat spot. And if we go down the hill, it's pretty cold today. Let's see if I can stand this hill. The wind can really chill you down here. It should drop down to 0 on the hill, especially if I pedal a little. Draws less and less current the faster it goes, being a series wound motor. It's down around 3 amps there. Okay. If I were to pedal, I could make it go all the way to 0, but probably a little unsafe holding a video camera. So we'll head around the block and back to the driveway. Won't hurt me to pedal a little bit. Main thing I like an electric bike for is on those hot summer days when you're headed off to work. You don't want to arrive too sweaty, and the motor will help you on the hills so that you keep that breeze flowing. You can take the little charger with you in the back compartment of the bike and then charge it at work, which is nice, and you'll have a fully charged battery for the trip home. Also, these batteries are so light and small that I'm sure you could get 3 or 4 of them or more and swap them out partway down the trip if you were going to do, say, the Hawthorne Trail, 20 miles to Hawthorne. Can't tell you the exact range of this thing because it all depends on how much you're willing to pedal, and that depends on how hot it is and how many hills you have to face. So good luck with your electric bike and try the Kobalt system.